part of that was all the weeds that were interfering with the mechanical. So you want to put it in there? Okay.
Just a little bit. Oh crap. Battery. Snap. Carburetor. Finger. Battery. I hope not. Yeah, I obviously didn't put enough in it. Probably put enough in here. I probably didn't hit it right. Hold this. It's running down my finger. So I probably spilt more on it before I got it there. Than what I actually got in there. There's definitely more fuel in it that time.
Like I said, carb fire time.
Yep. That's not going to idle. Still gotta get fuel in that carburetor. Don't think we're getting fuel to it.
Well, we could pull the half-inch line off and see if it's getting fuel to it, but I think it is.
When it cranks, it doesn't sound like it. The only time it fired was when I put fuel in it.
Can't see the accelerator pumps.
No fuel? You should see at least a mist coming out.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing, yeah. It's not getting fuel yet. Or we didn't get the float in there right, and it's stuck closed.
I would hope not.
Well, crank it up. We gotta crank it till we get fuel.
Chisel.
What was that? Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Okay, give that a shot. Camera took a header.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, jammed. All right, come here, you. Try again?
Yeah.
All right. Now it's out.
Usually when you crank it, it puts it out.
You tried.
Ready?
Go ahead. at all that fuel.
We lost you guys. I got it running. I don't seem to have any working gauges, so that might be a rat issue. I really was hoping to have oil pressure at least, but it's not. So I'm pretty certain that's a rat issue. You can hear it sound a little better. Sean! So he's putting water in the carburetor to try to seal things up here. Too much! Build steam in the engine. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Steam up. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Steam it all up. All right, now go get some ATF. A lot less ATF. Not the best view. Now we're putting a little ATF in there. That's good! Good! I got no working gauges at all.
Gimbal's working.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, it ran. The cameras kept shutting off. Now we can't get it to start. We may have fouled plugs with the ATF. It's very possible we closed the gap on the plugs with the water. That's happened to me before. It'll keep running, but once you shut it off, then it won't restart. So next time we'll come in and check, make sure we're getting fuel. We might have to pull the top off to make sure it's got fuel in the bowl, to make sure the float's not set too deep, because the float's set too deep then it won't have enough fuel in the bowl, because we can't be pouring gas down it to start it every time. And we'll do a full carb adjustment, and we got it nice and hot. I mean, I think it's to temperature. You have that top hose. Tell me how hot it is.
Plenty hot.
Temperature? Up to running temperature, you think? I wonder if
Probably close.
I'm wondering if our one wire. Don't do that. You just want to see how low it is. It's low now. I was wondering why you kept doing that. Woo,
this is good stuff.
She's still brown. Oh, that's a waterproof camera. Hi.
Yeah.
I got that recorded at least.
That's disgusting.
That's one we'll save for Patreons. we won't.
I was just trying to release some pressure.
Oh, you released it all right.
See where it was at. Well.
So what are we doing today?
Okay, so we have decided that the carburetor was rebuilt wrong. Partially our fault for not knowing that the carburetor had been rebuilt wrong. I just put it back together the way it came apart. We know for a fact that 2 of the springs were reversed, and the accelerator pump ball, the one that prevents the flow back, is, well, it's floating. It's caged in the spring, so that's preventing the accelerator pump from working at all. So we're going to swap those springs back after we check the plugs and verify that they're in good shape, and set the gaps and blow anything out of the engine. If there's coolant in the engine, then we're going to have our own set of issues involving replacing, rebuilding the engine.
Right.
So if any of you know where to find a big block bell housing that'll mate to an MP435, we're really interested.
Yeah, we got a 383 out of a 69 Roadrunner just sitting in the shop garage. And we got a 440 sitting in a car, which was one of the first videos. It's spoken for. We're going to put that in the 52 5-glass pickup. And we got this random Ford engine sitting around that I'm trying to use for the off-road vehicle, which is the International Scout.
Yeah, that's just carb all to hell.
The carb's good. I like carb. It should be carbed because we ran water and then ATF through it, so it should be carbed.
I'm still going to take a torch to it.
Oh, yeah. Clean it. But I'm just saying carbed is what it should be looking like.
Run rich. I got no problem with rich.
No, ATF is a little richer than rich, but you know.
Carbon fouled is bad normally, but it is where it should be, is what you're saying.
After what we did to it, yes. And then I'm hoping that it seals up a little bit. At least the valve side of it should seal up a little bit better.
Also, carbon fouled, oil fouled.
Good. Like I said, that's what we should be seeing.
7 and 8, honestly.
You think so?
Yes. They're the ones that usually run really lean and burn themselves out.
Yeah, I don't think we're running lean. I think we're running super rich. Excuse my sinuses. We got California fires here. You can usually see the mountains from here. And we kind of see the outlining. It's really nasty out here. And it's all the smoke that blows in every year from California's wildfires, or their lack of land maintenance, forest maintenance. Oh shit, that's not good. All right.
We blew that one to hell. Looks like all the pieces are there, though.
Oh, we melted it.
No, it's gone. It's blown
hammered.
Up. It's pre-detonation killed it.
You think it's pre-det?
I hope it's pre-det.
Because, yeah, it could be. Whoops.
Yeah, there's a good description of it.
Never done that before. So that's, yeah, I hope there's not something in there banging on it.
Well, we'll spin the motor with that one, with all of them out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to need another plug.
Oh, I forgot my timing light, too. Oh, we'll have to get my timing light and my compression tester.
I got a timing light in the garage. It's just not as nice as yours.
Yeah, I like my nice one. It's a lot. It just makes things easier. Oh, that one's in one piece.
That would explain why it wouldn't start again.
No, there was no fuel coming from the carburetor. It'll start with one cylinder down. Now if we get two more like that, it might be the difference. I think I'm just going to move to the other side. I'm going to try to get a closer view of you working, but I think it's better.
Keep bashing my head on this camera.
Oh, the poor camera. What'd you ever do to that poor camera? What did that poor camera do to you that you have to assault it with that weapon of yours? Oh, that was number
6 was the one that was failed.
6. It looked fine before. I think we got a whole set of.
Jeez, yuck.
Really wet.
Really wet.
That's number 1. Smell that. Make sure it's not coolant wet. Because it's been sitting for how long? A week?
Don't think that's coolant.
Coolant, okay. It's not muddy at least.
Yeah, that would definitely be a giveaway.
Yeah, because everything the coolant touches right now is turning
to rust.
Rust. Looking.
Yeah, no.
They're all wet on that side, huh? Could have just poured the ATF in just a little bit too fast and took that spark plug out.
Well, it could have happened when we were doing the water. More
Yeah,
likely.
Too. An ATF burns well in a diesel engine.
Yeah, well, that's because diesels are bizarre.
I actually like to use ATF to refill my fuel filter housing when I change fuel filters. It's got a really good lubrication value that diesel is missing these days. Don't fall over, I'll have to laugh at you.
Yeah, I got that.
I was gonna say something hit the ground. Was it the plug or the... Oh, it didn't hit the ground, it just didn't make it all the way out, huh?
That one's closed, almost.
Yeah, I expected to see them close. I've never seen one actually break.
Yeah, that one's got splinters of the thing still in the cylinder, probably.
Oh, yeah. Really odd it only did it to one plug, though.
Maybe that was a cylinder that had decent rings, was creating vacuum. Also almost closed.
Yeah, a lot of them are almost closed.
Well, I might have more plugs in the garage. I'm gonna get a torch and a battery.
Get a torch, or we want to just get plugs?
There's no.
We don't know what we've actually done to the inside of the plugs.
Probably ought to do that. We've done everything else, but let's get the battery in here, crank it over.
All right.
See if we don't get anything coming out of cylinders. Like 6.
Like 6, yeah. We definitely want to put a camera on 6.
I haven't.
I wouldn't tighten that one. I just put it on there. Gently.
Don't get that close. It might spray.
Yeah. I might get a face full of something here, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'll close my eyes.
It'll be your turn to get a face full of something. Contact.
Do that again. Okay. Looks good over here.
We trying to pump fuel up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I smell fuel.
Yeah, me too.
Well, do we go get some plugs for this thing?
Oh, we want to pull the carb apart now that we pumped the fuel up.
All right.
Do you hate it when I'm right?
No. It's just a little bizarre.
How bizarre. The poor little carburetor.
Useful.
Screwdriver?
Yeah, I don't got it.
Before you climb yourself in there, you may want the necessary tools.
fun. I forgot about the throttle linkage. Sorry, or pump linkage.
Linkage on this side too.
Is there a clip on there?
Yeah, there's a clip on both of these. There's Jesus clips on both of these over here.
Oh no! It's the end of the world.
It looks a lot better with the intake cleaned off, so it's not covered in animal dung.
I'd hand this to you, but you'd lose it. Don't touch that.
I'm gonna say set it on the intake, and then it's in the bowl. It won't go nowhere. I mean, you might not be able to get it out, but you know, it won't go nowhere. At least you'll know where it's at.
It's the end of the world.
What about the other side?
I feel fine.
Vacuum advance there.
Choke.
Choke, yeah. That's what it was. Vacuum choke.
No. Yes and no. There's a thermal choke there.
Yeah.
I think that stuff's good. We'll leave it be. Stuff's gonna get lost.
It's humid out here. You know what I did notice though?
What's that?
There's no fuel on the outside of the carburetor yet.
There is that.
And before it was leaking pretty good. Where that was coming off, I think I would have left it on.
Can't. Not without damaging it.
Oh, because the screws are... Okay, I see.
I smell fuel.
That's a good thing. I think it's done, Sean. What the heck did you do? I'll say don't break that gasket. How did you manage to have... I don't know. Is there fuel in the bowl?
Nope.
Not a drop, huh?
No, it's got a couple drops.
So we need to adjust that flow so it gets more fuel.
These are at least on correctly.
Yeah. I kind of figured they were.
Right now it should be getting fuel. I don't know why it's not.
Maybe our fuel pump took a poop poop.
It's possible. Oh God, grab the 9/16 from in the cab. There's a couple drops in here. That's it. All right, grab that fuel pump off the dashboard. Might as well just replace it if this is the way it's going to be.
We don't know if that's the issue. We can break this loose and then we can literally crank it and see how much fuel comes pouring out of it.
That's a really bad idea. You know that, right?
Why?
Because
It's a good flow check. It's not the correct flow check, but it's
there's
a good
no
flow.
pressure here at all either.
Well, there shouldn't be any pressure. It's shut off. Oh no, there should still be a little bit of pressure.
When we took it off the first time, it popped.
We're gonna have...
It is well away from that needle and seat. Well away from the needle and
Okay,
seat.
so we're not getting fuel, but I want to crank it and make sure that's the issue. And I think that's the spring issue. And that spring Goes in there.
And has caged the ball
Yep,
again.
that's exactly what I think's happening. And I think those two swap. And I think that big one, actually, no, the big one goes on the bottom of the rubber.
Accelerator pump.
Accelerator pump, yep.
Look at that accelerator pump, got a little borked.
When you set it down or before?
Probably before. It doesn't go on the accelerator pump.
It doesn't actually fit around that?
Nope.
Boy, it looks like it would. That's cool.
But it does sit in there real nice and pretty.
So move your knee and I'll crank it.
Yum. Let me put this back on.
Well, you can't see the fuel coming out of it.
Yeah, I can see it squirting into the frickin' tank, though. Which is where it needs to be.
I was going to crank it enough to start it on fire or anything. Last thing.
Yeah, well, if we get near the spark plugs, it will, because the ignition has not been disabled.
I gotcha.
And then I'll come out of here screaming, and it'll make good video.
Ready?
Go.
Oh, hey.
You need a key, don't you?
Yeah, some genie took the key out of it.
It's not like you couldn't just reach down there and short those two together, but...
Don't give people ideas. Yeah, that's your key. A little warped.
Kind of like your sense of humor, huh?
All right, Jerry, what did you do wrong? Ah!
Sounds like it got you. Nothing!
Yeah, we lost the fuel pump. Well, look at the fuel filter real quick. Make sure there's fuel in there. But yeah, it sounds like we lost the fuel pump.
All right. Well,
Which I am not surprised about.
No, not considering how old it is.
Right.
It may have pumped it all into the freaking oil pan for all we know.
That would be bad.
Dashboard, fuel pump.
You think this one sitting here is going to be good?
Well, either this one or the one in the garage. I think it's new.
Well, this is not new. This is the old one. That box is so old it crushed when I picked it up.
There's some debris in here, but not a lot.
Not enough to stop it.
No.
All right, well. Fuel
You
pump.
put that fuel pump box. Where's it at?
That's an old, nasty fuel pump.
Is there a pump in it?
Yeah, it's an old, nasty fuel pump.
Ah, you're vague.
I thought you said you had a new one inside.
There's another one inside.
Is it new?
That one is in good shape, isn't it?
That's what I said. We're on now. So there's a little bit of a difference. This one's made in Canada. Shh. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's not much of a difference. Also, the return fuel line is actually part of the pump in this one. So the pumps might be different
We'll have a look.
from mine to this one. From my old one to this one.
Let's pull that line off.
Maybe easier, huh?
Suction side. Yeah, might not have enough fuel line there. I don't think we have enough fuel line there.
We got more fuel line.
You're annoying, dog. Really?
You can get rid of that piece of tube that's there. See what I'm saying? Take it off from the other end.
This is where I've got access to.
I was just saying, if you took it off from the other end, you would just wrap it straight in there instead of hooking that tube up. Or we can bend that tube any direction we want it.
What?
You said you didn't have enough fuel line.
I don't have enough fuel line on the other side.
Oh, on the other side. Okay.
On the suction side.
I am trying to figure out where the return is for
There
this.
is no return.
That's not right.
Probably a pressure blow-off valve inside the pump.
I'm gonna have to look up something.
Feel free.
I might be finding out what some of our problem is.
There's no return. Not supposed to be a return.
Huh?
Not supposed to be a return.
There's no return going to the tank?
Not on a carbureted engine.
Yeah, there is.
Feel free to look.
Well, I know for a fact my 84 had a return.
Where would it come off? Carburetor?
No, it comes off, well, some of them came off the carburetor, but on this one it came off the fuel filter. Remember the canister fuel filter with the pressure that had a return on it? The 3-legged fuel filters?
No.
Oh, see, well, I spent a lot more years with these than you did. And that might be part of our issue. We might be over-pressurizing things.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Because I don't remember these things ever having a fuel return, and there's no place for a return on the tank.
That's
so,
what I was at. What was that top line that we put in there?
that was a vent.
That was the...
That went to the canister.
Okay. And there was no return? Okay.
There was no return.
I know the 84 had a return. I know that for a fact because I blew the return once and I was going through a lot of fuel and couldn't figure out why. And then I realized that the whole top of my tank was full of fuel.
Come on, you. Annoying shit. Yeah, I don't have fingers. Long enough. There he goes. Where are you?
So I had 2 days this week at 1.5 and 1.75 hours. But with Friday being as long as it was, I ended up making more money this week than they did last week. I only made 200 last week, and I made 240 this week. It's funny how that works, huh? New Halo's coming out, huh?
What's that?
New Halo coming out.
Okay.
Halo Infinity.
Is there gonna be another multiplayer abortion?
Wasn't all the Halos a multiplayer?
Well, I meant online, but
I don't know. Did they do an online Halo? I guess they did. Ooh, fuel filter pump. That was a big gloop of something that just hit the oil, I think. Maybe. There's no way we're out of fuel already.
nope, not out of fuel.
Made in the USA.
Carter.
Carter made in the USA.
We may have worn the lobe off the cam.
Oh, don't say that. Reach in there and try to find the lobe on the cam. I don't think we did, but I've actually never seen that happen.
I have.
And I've eaten multiple cams.
The Oldsmobile I had did that.
I've eaten multiple cams and
Excuse
never lost a lobe. Go ahead, stick your finger in there and I'll turn it over.
Well, it appears to still be there.
Yeah, I doubt we lost a lobe on the cam. And I think you're right. I don't know if this is the same.
Ball sticking, I suppose. Could have had a chunk of something.
Yeah, it's the same angle and the same. This
Comes
just
straight
gotta
up
be-
the bottom.
Right,
comes out
right,
the
right,
side.
right. I'm not worried about that. I was
That's
talking
why
about
I'm
this.
saying I don't think our fuel line is long enough. So, do we have fuel line, or did you take that home?
No, the fuel line we bought because I didn't have any. So there should be a roll of it. It was in one of those plastic dingy thingies. Remember the fuel line I didn't have? I had coolant.
Fuel, or this is vacuum, and vacuum. Where do we put the fuel?
Oh, I don't know. We used a lot of it.
Here's some.
Oh, you found it?
I might have.
Yeah, because I didn't have fuel. What I had was coolant. Heater holes.
That's long enough?
Yeah, that's it. That's probably what we got left too. Yeah, that's the one you bought. That looks more than long enough. I'm gonna say, yeah, because we grabbed all my stuff and then we're like, oh crap, we still don't have fuel line.
Hey, you want to grab 2 of those real clamps? 3 of those real clamps? 4 of those real clamps?
Where do we put the real clamps at?
They're in the front seat.
That's a good place for them. Real clamps! They're just the big ones? Yeah, it's just the big ones. It's the real clamps. The clamper. Those are real clamps too.
Yeah, they're close enough, I guess.
It was just the heater hose that they weren't good for.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Or not the heater hose. Yeah, the heater hose. Because they were too narrow. So you wanted to buy some bigger clamps. Like I said, I was pretty surprised the fuel pump was working at all.
Yeah, after sitting with that crap in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, we did drain it before we started it, but still. It still was sitting there with that stuff baking on it the whole time. Uh-oh. We got good fuel in there, and it was like, I can't work no more.
Yellowish.
Still yellowish?
A little bit.
I believe it. What are you going to do about no gasket?
This one's mostly RTV anyway, so we'll use it.
Okay. You know what sucks is I also have a spare 3 or 4 gaskets.
You need to stop talking about that truck like it's yours. You hurt yourself that way.
No, I think I still have them at home. I've been meaning to go through my building and find all my spare parts.
Stuff and give it to Tammy.
Give it to Tammy or give it to you.
She bought the truck.
Well, yeah, but it'll all work on this. It's all the electronic ignition shit, which they already have 3 or 4. Because when I was living in that truck, basically, I would find older trucks like mine, and I would collect the ignition stuff off of them from junkyards or people, you know, getting rid of their trucks or whatever. Because those parts are expensive and used to be hard to find, but it sounds like they're rebuilding them again. You're gonna hope that gasket works, huh?
Shut it. If it leaks, we'll change it. We have other things to worry about. You obnoxious motherfucker.
Yeah, you usually gotta put those on from underneath.
Jerry, I don't have arms that long.
Okay. Oh, plus then this thing's sitting on the ground too. I can keep forgetting about that. Just because this side's higher makes me think we could put tires on it magically somehow. I'm still keeping an eye open for tires. And the mechanical fuel pumps are fun to change. The way my truck was set up, you had to go through the fender well to get to it. It sucked.
Well, there's supposed to be a fender liner here.
Well, there was, but I have that truck has a 3-inch body lift on it with a 3-inch suspension lift. And so the body was 3 inches higher off the frame, which made it just tall enough for you to reach through and grab the fuel pump. Made it a lot easier to pull the engine in though. Had all kinds of room.
With the body out of the way, yeah.
3 inches up in the air. I would not suggest doing that. I don't remember how many times I had to repair bed mounts, or not bed mounts, but the corner mounts for the cab.
Body mounts.
Yeah, they kept pushing through the cab.
Oh, well, there was a lot of rust on your floorboard too. That's annoying. There's got to be a deep 9/16 in there.
There's a deep 9/16 over there.
9/16. Gives me that little bit of extra reach.
Is that 15 millimeter? 14 millimeter?
9/16.
Somewhere on there.
And yes, 14 and 15 will both occasionally work. 14 usually works on the more worn ones that the 15 wears down.
Right.
All right, fuel lines. Look, fuel line. Not the same angle either.
Of course not. Is it the same thread? That's the real question.
Damn well better be. They should be pipe. I think everything with these fittings on them is pipe.
Should be.
Good Lord.
Yes. Do you hate it when your fat belly makes you tired from leaning on it?
Means you can't breathe.
Right. You're gonna have to get the broom out again?
I'm not laying in that.
You already laid in it once.
Regretted it later. We gotta find out which of those wires feeds power to the inside too.
Right. I think I have a way of doing that.
I think it's one of those 2 wires.
Well, there's 3 wires. One of them has power though.
Then it's not that one. I suppose it could be backbeating through a bad ground, but... You're not gonna be... Oh, maybe you can see something over there.
Probably not. We're getting close up.
Damn, that's a bit worn out.
That's a pain in the butt mechanical fuel pump.
Pretty typical.
I spent a long time trying not to use them to find out that I had to use it because they don't make electric pumps like they used to.
No, the electric pumps are garbage.
But you can get a few of them that are decent if you got $200.
Get that screw stick up there. Should be right up by your shoulder.
No. Nope, nope, nope. There it is.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. All right, let's turn it around. There enough above it?
Yeah.
I think Dad's mechanic may have modified this thing I think it was probably just a solid line, but that Carter wasn't designed to use the same line.
Yep.
And he decided he wanted to use the Carter.
Yep. Well, we got one part store, and that's probably the part they had for it.
And where'd this one come from?
Probably purchased afterwards. It could have been purchased for the 84.
Could have been. I'll give you that.
Like I said, they're the same.
You think they're the same? I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, they're
Similar.
similar. What you trying to do?
I'm trying to bend it.
Oh.
If you look at the line on the thing, it's got a slight kink here and a slight kink here, so things need to get bent to line up.
You'd be good. It's a pressure line. It should straighten itself out.
Theoretically.
What is the pressure on these? Like 3 to 4
All right.
psi, something like that.
You want to grab the clamp up there?
Which one?
I don't know, whichever one looks like it'll work.
It'll look like it'll work. Ooh, ooh, ooh! Nice catch. There's something in the air. I don't know what it is,
It's probably California.
but it's making me wet.
Oh, it's heat.
I think it's humidity.
It's probably humidity too, but
I'm not used to humidity.
it's been awful humid lately. The smoke tends to
Yeah. Every time it's...
make it rain.
Yeah.
Oh, did I put that all upside down? Could I get at it from over here easier? Yes.
California's cloud seeding for us.
Indeed. Good thing, bad thing, who knows?
Bad thing, because I can't breathe in the smoke. I can feel it. I can feel it when I breathe. I mean, breathe.
When you breathe. Okay, hands are starting to cramp up again.
Too early for that shit.
Right? Hopefully, once we get this thing running, it'll stop being such a pain in the butt. But that's only a prayer.
Oh, then we work on an axle next.
Well, we might end up working on an axle before it's running correctly.
Ah, true.
All right, where's that 13? See if this thing is actually tight.
13.
13, it wasn't half-inch 13. They're similar enough. All right, that should be good. I'm gonna take my phone out of my pocket, tuck it in another pocket.
And now we get to put the carburetor back together. Well, no, we get to crank it.
See if we get any fuel out of it.
See if we get fuel out of it. There you go.
I used to be able to do that real easy. Not as flexible anymore.
You want this or you want me to keep it?
All right, give me that. Let me put this in the bed. Another belt, actually in decent shape. What's that?
Probably until you spin it at 5,000 RPM.
We'll see.
Right on.
I think they're still blue. Hold on, Matt. Yeah. Go. I got nothing. There it goes. Starting to get fuel.
Okay.
Keep going. I want to know if the floats actually work.
Yeah, I'm just not wanting to burn the starter up.
Okay. Worked.
What worked?
Floats are working.
Well, now we got fuel in there. It might work.
Here's one camera so I can put the carburetor back together. You did watch Sesame Street.
Hell yeah. I got my education on the streets, baby.
Yeah, the Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
I like Sesame Street.
But you know, you just reminded me of the cook and the... I can't remember his name. Oh no.
It's been a while, Jerry.
Oh my gosh. Me. I got my education on the streets. Oh, I used to love saying that to kids. Something didn't look right.
Accelerator pump's good.
The accelerator pump in there, it didn't look like it slid in. It looked like it was sitting on top.
Not a whole lot of options with this accelerator pump, and I think it's not going to work right because of the way the
thing sits.
Yeah, this thing is a little bit
That's
screwed up, but there's no way to fix it, literally.
That's what I was afraid happened. It got rolled when we put it together the first time. A little better.
Maybe.
Wow, there's a box there.
There's a can there. Careful, it'll end up in the engine.
I can do the can. Can you do the can?
I don't think you could do the can. Doesn't work that way. Did I leave that screw stick on the bumper? I think I left it on the bumper.
On the bumper or underneath? It's not on the bumper.
Oh, I didn't want to hear that.
Oh, it's on the ground. Holy oh. Oh. Ow.
What'd you get for kicking things, man?
Kicked it harder.
Almost like you don't pay attention when you sit down or something.
Sit down.
Stand up, walk around when you be Jerry.
That's why I set my stuff over there instead of the middle of the floor where everybody walks. I had a couple of good games last night.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
It was fun.
Yeah, not really. Those massive online battle arenas are not my thing. And we'll leave it at that.
But it's fun killing other people.
You're not killing other people.
Yes, I am. Killing their avatars.
That's better. More accurate, too.
Some of them cry like they were actually people.
I used to play World of Tanks, so I'm well aware of that.
Right. The nice thing about this is it's a three-man team, and you can only see or hear what your three-man team's saying. You don't have to worry about everybody else crying.
You just have to worry about your own team crying, huh?
Yeah, I actually had some really good teams last night. And that's probably what made it nice. 12 kill streaks and...
How many teams are there if you've only got a three-man team?
I think it's 20 teams. Or 25 teams. They're huge maps. But what happens is the map shrinks. Every so often the map gets smaller and smaller, and the ring does damage to you. So I've lost games, like I've been like way in the lead and then lost a game because I got on the wrong side of the mountain and couldn't get through the ring without going through another team. So there's multiple ways of playing. You can camp the rings, which is not a bad idea. You stay out of combat until somebody shows up. Or you drop in where everybody's at and just kill everybody first. But you can bring your teammates back and everything else, so it kind of forces everybody to play together. And since I have a tendency to play later in the evenings, I usually find less kids playing. And then sometimes you get the kids playing, they're better than the non-kids.
They certainly got the reflexes for it.
Yeah, well, some of them actually, you know, they've been doing this game systems like this forever.
That does not feel right at all.
It just moves that lever back and forth.
That's the accelerator pump, Jerry.
Oh, so it's probably, I don't think it dropped in there is probably the issue. Might have to push it all the way down from the top here. Oh, they left their puppy in the house. Did they sell their Jeep?
Who?
Your neighbors, or is that a different group of people?
Who?
The ones right over here.
Never had a Jeep.
Yeah, they had a white Jeep.
Oh, that She might have. She said she was thinking about it. Oh, it is working. It's just not working well. That's supposed to be enough spring. Oh, I know why Pete did that then.
What?
The accelerator pump is sort of working,
Right.
and it's not at all working.
Great.
That's awesome.
So what's it doing?
It's going up and down, but I don't think it's actually doing anything. Uh-oh. Pull it out.
What'd you do? Oh, you rotated it too far?
That's supposed to be the accelerator pump. It does sort of work, but it's leaking like a sieve.
It's kind of doing the job.
Not very well.
Oh, we'd already discussed putting a 4-barrel on this, or fuel injection on it, so.
Well, as long as it runs, right? Now I gotta run good, no matter what we do.
You hate carburetors anyways.
I'm still considering pulling that Rochester out the garage.
Well, we might just rebuild that and then put it on here and see if it does better, but.
I don't think I even need to rebuild it.
You don't think so?
Nope. I think anytime you rebuild them, you fuck up the idle and everything else.
Yeah, it's all adjustable.
You keep saying things like that, but then we have things like this happen.
Well, somebody else touched it before us.
Yeah, somebody who actually knew what a carburetor was and still screwed it up.
Well, I've done the Edelbrock about 6 times and it runs fine.
Yeah, right out of the box.
No, that Edelbrock, I've done it, rebuilt that thing 6 times. The last time it sat for 4 years with fuel in it.
All right, we gotta go get plugs.
Plugs!
Might be a set in the garage, but I don't think so. The accelerator pump does not work well.
Yeah.
Plugs. Preferably without the
tighten
clutch.
that. I'm gonna pull the. You don't want to crush. What have you found, Sean?
Okay, so the number 6, you know, the one with the spark plug screwed up like it was. Jerry said nothing came out of the spark plug hole when we turned it. No no vapors, no nothing. So I put my finger over it to look for compression. It had 0 compression. So I stuck a flashlight down inside there and had a look, and there's a great big hole in the top of one of the pistons. So that pretty well tells us this motor is done. So saving money for a bell, I guess.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing suspension work for the time being. It is what it is.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go cry now.
Oh, after all that work trying to get this thing alive?